everyone, it's Serena here, and today I'm bringing you a different type of video. So this video is going to get a little bit more, um, a little political and a little more controversial depending on how you see it. For me, I mean, it's not really controversial to talk about things like this because we all should have access to human rights. Whether we're trans or not, we should have access to healthcare and just human rights because we're human, so that's not really controversial, honestly. And if you think it is otherwise, you're clearly on the wrong video, on the wrong channel. So the door's that way, so make sure it doesn't hit your head on the way out. Bye. I don't know what to say. Every human has the right to to live their best life, so we're no exception. We're human, we're trans, we're not harming anyone. We're not trying to brainwash or tell lies to anyone. We're certainly not trying to influence young ones who are trans or think they're trans to take hormones or go underneath these surgeries. That's not what our purpose is. We just have gender dysphoria, so we don't exactly feel comfortable in our own skin. And some people just don't want to see us be happy in our own bodies or live our best life. They just want to make it their agenda to just tear down our community and just destroy us and demonize us. So I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but I'm referring to what's going on right now in Texas. So if you don't know what's going on, Attorney General, sorry, he's not in the military. He couldn't last in there. Attorney General Ken Paxton is trying to pass some type of law or basically just take away healthcare access to trans youth, more so in specific. He deems it as child abuse to pretty much support your child who's transitioning. And to make this very clear, I'm probably going to reiterate it throughout the video. And actually, I'm going to provide an article in just a moment. You're not allowed to go underneath any type of surgery for gender dysphoria until you're of legal age, so not until you're 18. So prior to that, you have to pass a mental health evaluation, even if you are of legal age, obviously, in order to have access to hormones. So you need to be seen by a medical professional first and foremost. So that's already like, if the medical professional deems you mentally stable and okay to take the hormones, and I don't see why they can't take it. But that's not what I'm trying to talk about. What I'm trying to talk about is that he's spreading misinformation by making it seem like we're trying to make our children, oh no, we're making all the children transition to transgender. We're making them go underneath surgeries. That is not what's going on. Children can't do any of those surgeries, not until they're 18, and they made up their own mind. Yes, they can take hormones, but that's not until they pass a mental health evaluation and a psych evaluation, and they have to undergo gender therapy as well and counseling. So it's not just like they're getting the hormones handed out to them. And those hormones are completely irreversible, so if they're older and they decide this was something they didn't want to go through it, they can always just stop taking them, and it's of no consequence because those effects are irreversible. So they're not undergoing any type of surgeries, and it's honestly sad because we need more parents who are supportive of their transgender children, and my heart goes out to all those parents who are being demonized right now in states like Texas, which are just heavy Republican centric about, oh, you parents are seen as child abusers because you're letting your children take all these hormones and do all these other things, and it's misinformation. That's what their agenda is to destroy our community. And I wanted to spread it out there, let you guys know what's going on right now. Like, he's obviously trying to pass this bill, just like how, pretty much, like, he's basically claiming, oh, we're going to undergo some type of investigation and whatnot about, like, children that have, like, been accessing, like, transgender healthcare. And it's just wrong, honey. Like, we're not doing anything to hurt you. Those are the children. He's claiming, oh, our children. I want to protect the youth. No harm come to them. Matter of fact, let me just pull up the article up right now. Alrighty, so here's the article. Shout out to Tribune. So I won't be going over the entire article. I will link it in the description down below. I'll just be going over the key points I was trying to talk about. Pretty much as the title suggests of the article, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, healthcare for transgender children is abuse. So pretty much he made a new interpretation of state law. So he's trying to claim that under Texas law, the Constitution, whatever, anyways, just like under the Texas law, that he's trying to like justify that under Texas law, medical care for transgender children's abuse, and it's seen as a dramatic change. So like different, it's like a contrast to medical standards. So he's pretty much just targeting trans youth access to healthcare, and he's Republican. So I mean, honestly, I think it's just a whole agenda, just targeting trans as a whole, not specifically just trans youth, but in this specific predicament, it is targeting trans youth. So pretty much, he believes gender affirming healthcare for transgender youth is a form of child abuse. How dare you? You child abusive parents. You are abusing our children. What a bigot. Those are bigotry words. So, medical experts, medical professionals say that this being transgender and whatnot, it's, there's something wrong with it. It's not seen as a mental disease or condition. According to the World Professional Association for Transgender Health, pretty much. But pretty much, I'm going to go over key points. So, like, just to kind of clarify things, because their agenda is to always spread misinformation to people who don't know any better. So, for children who haven't reached puberty, mental health care is a primary form of treatment for gender dysphoria. So, the standards dictate that medical interventions like hormones should be explored only for youth who've already experienced onset of puberty, so they've already started puberty, and they're undergoing mental health evaluation, so they're regularly seeing a psychiatrist or a gender therapist. So pretty much the child has to be already hitting puberty, which is usually around like 11 to 13 years old. I don't know. People start puberty early or later, depending, but basically 11 to 13 years old, so like middle schoolers we're talking here, not really in elementary school, but they can still socially transition. Regardless, that's not the point. The point I'm trying to bring up is trying to clarify misinformation that he's spreading amongst other Republicans, and just not even Republicans. Let me take that back. Transphobes, or people trying to pass these bills trying to destroy or trying to take away rights from the transgender community as a whole. So yeah, so he's pretty much just trying to say that parents are abusing their children or forcing them to take hormones, which is most certainly not true. These parents are, my heart goes out to them, just like I've said earlier. They're trying to support their children in any way possible, especially in this day and age when a lot of families, especially more so than anything, is usually family members who are having a hard time accepting their children or sibling or family relative as being transgender. And more often than not, they disown them, and either their relationship gets destroyed with their parents, or they don't have one, or it's damaged, but then it heals because parents learn to accept because they love their children. If you love your children, you're going to accept them for who they are. If you don't love their children, if you truly don't love your children, you're not going to accept them, and you're going to get out of their lives, which sadly happens sometimes. But pretty much what I'm trying to bring up is that he's trying to punish and going into investigations for parents who are supposedly abusing their children by giving them these hormones, which isn't true. Just like right here, they have to go mental health evaluation. So they're seen by a medical professional and given okay to go ahead and take these hormones, which is the point I'm trying to bring up. So that's obviously all lies that he was saying. And just to kind of go over again, surgery is only recommended for patients who have reached legal age of maturity. So it says recommended, but in most cases, in some states, it's illegal until they're of legal age. So even then, they can't undergo surgery. So we're not having the children undergo surgeries. We're not harming the children, as he says. And yeah, just kind of going over again, patients have reached the legal age of maturity and live continuously at least for a year in the general that they identify with. So even it has to be after a year. And most cases, if you're early on and you're not really too sure about this, you might want to. And unfortunately, in some cases, people they detransition, which it's understandable. It's not for everyone. Not everyone's truly transgender. Some people are just have gender dysphoria, and that's that. And like I said, you don't have to take hormones. You don't have to undergo surgery. You don't have to do anything to be transgender. You can just identify differently with the body you're born with and just socially transition and leave it at that. In some cases, that's all that people do, and that's fine. There's no criteria. You're trans. I love you. That's all there is to it. But pretty much just going back to it, he wants to limit access to gender dysphoria treatment options like puberty blockers, which places Texas among a small number of states like Oklahoma and Arizona, mentioned earlier in the tweet I showed. And I think Arkansas too. Yeah, Arkansas also passed a law to ban doctors from providing or referring minors to receive medical treatment for gender dysphoria. So he claims he cares about our children. In reality, he's harming them by not giving them the type of medical attention that they seek. So they're not even getting the help they want because he's limiting that access. And even Tennessee, they passed the law banning hormone treatment. So this is just another state that's in the process right now. Texas, they're trying to take steps to cut transgender youth access to medical services. So don't believe whatever lies they feed you. They're just trying to harm the children. They're trying to control how we take. They're trying to control how parents pretty much like parent their children, I guess, like parenting. They're trying to control how parents parent their children. So they're trying to tell the parents how to be a parent, just like how they try to tell women how to control their bodies when they have abortions, so on and so forth. I'm not going to get too much into that, but pretty much just making a comparison. Right here it says too, Paxton and several other attorney generals filed an amicus brief supporting the Arkansas law. They call these trans care experimentation on kids, so they think we're just experimenting with them, which is most certainly not true. And even the American Medical Association, American Psychiatric Association, and American Academy of Pediatrics all support providing age-appropriate, individualized care for children experiencing gender dysphoria. So even the actual professionals on this topic, even they support providing age-appropriate, individualized care for these children, because gender dysphoria is something serious and something that these Republicans and these just transphobes, they're just trying to belittle it because they don't care about mental health care. And of course it's a man too. So listen, I'm not trying to throw shade out there, so let me retract my words. But regardless, my point being, he's just trying to pretty much spread misinformation. He is not a professional. You don't listen, for politicians, they're not professionals in these fields. You don't listen to them when it comes to these types of topics. That's why I'm making this video. I just wanted to spread this out there. I don't want to get too much into this article because I don't want to take that away, because this article was provided for free thanks to Tribune. So I will leave the link to the article in the description below, because that bigot, the Attorney General Ken Paxton provided an article on his tweet, but it's behind a paywall, of course, because all he cares about is money and clicks and views. What a loser. Excuse me. I'm sorry. But pretty much, just getting back into topic, I just wanted to get this video out there, let you know what's going on. There's more and more states, it seems, each passing day, trying to make these laws to pretty much demonize transgenders, take away trans rights, and they're even they're even going as so far as to call parents child abusers just to take away trans rights and trans healthcare for younglings. So I hope this gets out there. Please, you don't have to share this video, but at least like share the information. What's going on right now? It's wrong. It's not right. There's already too much nonsense going on in the world, and yet these politicians decide, hey, you know what? Instead of making laws or something to pass or good, something that will provide good to the world or to our state or wherever, whatever, just like, hey, how about we just figure out what we're going to do next to take away yet another thing from transgender rights. That's what we're going to focus on instead of focusing on passing bills that'll actually help people out. They want to just target us out individually. So, with that being said, I've been Serena. I know this video is a little different. I don't really have a specific type of video scheduled to upload. I know this was pretty random, but I was pretty emotional about this. Seeing this really upset me. And I want to use my platform to spread this kind of awareness, to support my transgender community, because I wouldn't be there without it. So please always do your research before looking at anything. Don't always believe what politicians say. Obviously, that's a given. And just please hold your loved ones close to you in these tough times. Now more than ever, with crazy things going on, and now this, where they're trying to demonize parents by them supporting their children and loving them instead of trying to punish them, which isn't fair. I've been Serena here. I hope you all take care, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.